Let's just get to the point. This is the best Plants vs. Zombies survival endless strategy. And I am here to teach you how I did it. In a very short amount of time too. But first, we watch on how and why do I claim that this strategy is best among the others. I also called it LeGreatest strategy. Now, let's analyze. 12 cob cannons are perfectly in sync with one another. For once a pair had been fired, another pair will immediately be up, giving you a constant barrage of explosive cobs that can one-shot almost all the zombies. Almost all, for that only ones that can withstand cob missiles are the gargantuars. And they're not so distant cousins, the giga gargantuars. If so, the only main pain in the ass zombie that you have to deal with are the imps. Imps that are thrown by the gargantuars can damage your backline plants. And pumpkins, even if useful, they still take damage and needs repairs. Well, in this strategy, as you can see, my backline is fully protected by laddered up pumpkins, rendering the imps useless, and for them to slowly walk to their deaths by these gloom shrooms. Not only that, but the front line and the backline synergies perfectly, giving you slow zombies, tons of sun, a money collector, and a solid front line. This strategy could go forever, for it does not need repairs, and it two-shots anything and everything on sight. Now, I know you're wondering, how do I do this strategy? And in short amount of time too? Well, stick around and I'll teach you on just how I do it. And for those that are wondering, how do I get rid of the zombies that spawn here? The zombies that spawn directly onto my defenseless cob cannons. For that, I have one solution that could also go on forever. And it's using the doom shrooms. You might say that the doom shrooms has a lot of issues. I say otherwise. You might say doom shrooms leaves craters that are valuable. But if you analyze it perfectly, every second flag a crater will heal itself. That's why I plant my doom shrooms here. Likewise, to kill the zombies that spawn directly on your cobs, you'll have to time it perfectly. Just put the coffee bean in the doom shrooms just when this warning fades. Do this, and then they will get spawn-killed every time. You can also put the doom shrooms here, solving the crater problem easily. And with that being said, I will now show you on how to do it. Just be warned that you must follow what I do carefully. First, go to the local disk C of your device. Then find the hidden folder program data. Find it, click the Organize button on the top left corner. Then select and click the folder and search options. Then select the View option. Then select Show Hidden Files. Now, click Apply and OK. Now that the program data folder isn't hidden anymore, open it. Then open PopCap Games folder. Then Plants vs. Zombies folder. Then the User Data folder. Now, the trick begins. Start a new survival endless game. Select your preferred plants. Mine are these. Keep in mind that these plants are selected for a reason. Now follow what I do. Go to main menu.
Now rename Game 13 Survival Endless to Game 29 Zombie Nimble Quick.
Then go to Zombie Nimble Quick. This trick allows you to edit the game file. By doing so, it gives you the advantages that certain game modes have. For Zombie Nimble Quick, it gives two advantages. Firstly, it gives you a fast-forwarded game. Having a fast-forwarded game is very useful, for it gives your plants faster recharge times. Secondly, it gives faster sun production, a very useful trick to have in Endless. With fast sun production and fast recharge times, you will have sun and sunflowers galore on your first flag. The only downside being is that it might be too fast for you to manage. That is why I highly recommend using an auto-clicker for the job. For when I started doing this strategy, I broke a mouse and a finger. Now that we have all these suns, it's time for me to show my second trick. Leave the game and rename Game 29 Zombie Nimble Quick to Game 31 Last Stand. Now, Last Stand has two very unique features. Firstly is the very obvious one, gives you instant recharge time for your plants, which is very useful for planting a lot of useful plants, i.e. sunflowers. Secondly, it gives you a pause time, giving you time to repair and build plants. It also gives you a time to think for your next move. Now, just leave the game and rename it back to Game 29 Zombie Nimble Quick. Statistically, this is the best sequence of your first flag. For this gives you a lot of sun for building plants. Not to mention your upgraded plant's sun cost increases over time. Trust me, I've done the math. Now, here's a very important part of this strategy. Leave the game and rename Game 29 Zombie Nimble Quick back to Game 13 Survival Endless. For you want to end the flag in the right game, or your progress will be gone. Now select these plants. Now that we got these plants, time to plant them. Rename Game 13 Survival Endless to Game 31 Last Stand. Now place those plants at your heart's desire. Keep in mind to not get rid of the sunflowers, for you still need sun production. Planting these winter melons gives you slowed zombies. Slowing zombies is very useful. For slowed zombies moves and eat slow, especially useful for gargantuars. Now, we slowly start our cob cannon economy. Keep in mind, do not plant cob cannons here, yet. For it's still defenseless, and you can't afford to spam doom shrooms, just yet. Not to mention zombies can spawn directly on top of your plants if you did. Casually plant more defenses if you have suns to spare. Now that that's done, rename Game 31 Last Stand to Game 13 Survival Endless, or for hardcore players like me, rename it back to Game 29 Zombie Nimble Quick. Now that we have a lot of suns once more, we are not gonna waste time, and we're gonna rename it back to Game 31 Last Stand. And even build some more. and rename it back to Game 13 Survival Endless. For you still want to end the flag at Survival Endless. Uh-oh. That right there was a misplay that we can learn from. I didn't time the doom shrooms right and got punished for it. But it's completely fine, for we can still fix it. Problem is that we need suns, and we almost got rid of all our sunflowers. So we wait and collect. Also, don't forget to bring a spikeweed. I'll explain later on why. Now that we have enough suns, we rename Game 13 Survival Endless to Game 31 Last Stand. And fix our mistakes. After that, I shall show you my last trick. We'll just rename Game 31 Last Stand to Game 61, also known as iZombie. And we'll put ladders on our backline by planting spikeweed directly on our pumpkins. This works for the spikeweed data, matches perfectly with the ladder zombies data, effectively giving you easy laddering on your backline. This is useful for the imps that are thrown by the gargantuars, are one of the threats to the strategy. But now with ladders they become irrelevant, and will slowly walk to their deaths. But for now, we go back to Survival Endless, for we need more suns to afford the rest of the ladders. Oh yeah, by the way, gold magnet or the money collectors are completely optional. Personally, I like them for they collect the money that is in the way, making it so that I won't misclick anything. Now, we plant them. Rename Game 13 Survival Endless to Game 31 Last Stand. Planting with no recharge time is insanely good. Now, we rename Game 31 Last Stand back to Game 13 Survival Endless. For we need a little bit more suns to finish off the strategy. Now that we have enough suns, rename Game 13 Survival Endless back to Game 61, iZombie. And finish the rest of the laddering. By the way, be careful on using explosives around the ladders. Explosives such as cherry bombs and doom shrooms. Also, jalapeno can easily remove these ladders. I highly recommend not using jalapenos at all. Keep in mind magnet shrooms also remove ladders. That being said, the only one-shots that can't remove the ladders are the squash and ice shrooms. And also be careful while using the cob cannons, for they also can remove ladders. Just rename Game 61 iZombie back to Game 13 Survival Endless. and enjoy the LeGreatest strategy of all.